Hello everyone, and welcome for the first time in nearly 4 months to Let's Play Katamari Damacy. I, of course, am Dylan, your host. You know me by now. But what the hell am I doing here, you may be asking? Well, this is probably a bad idea, because it has been 4 months, and so I'm pretty out of practice with respect to this game. And also, I'm probably too tired to be recording right now. But I wanted something special for my 50th video, and I did promise a long time ago, or, well, maybe not promise, but I said that I wanted to do these Eternal stages, and I felt that it wouldn't really be a complete Let's Play unless I included them. So here I am, at long last, after a short hiatus, playing Make a Star 4, also known as Eternal 1. Let's roll. Let's visit our old friend, the King of all Cosmos, who seems to be speaking English or possibly another language with the word celebration in it, because we can roll for eternity, for all time. There is no time limit here in the Eternal stages. Otherwise, this is quite like the Make a Star 4 that I so vaguely remember from so long ago. Yep, there's no objective. Who cares about time or size? We control when everything comes to a stop, and that's when we... Do we press the square button like we do in the North Star stage, or do we like press start first? Okay, I guess we press start and then circle and not square. Okay, good thing to know. Yeah. As you can see, this was very impromptu on my part. I was not planning on doing this, but the timing felt right. I wanted to do it, so here I am, just recording, blabbering on about nonsense. Alright, so I'm already struck by something here, which is that, well, first of all, that I'm going way too fast. Slow down there, Prince. There is no time limit. We are playing an Eternal stage, which means that we can do whatever we want, which means, why am I even so focused on picking up objects? Let's just roll around and take a look at things. No, but the thing I was struck by was that this is not Katamari Forever I'm playing here. This is an older game. And I don't say that because it looks worse, because it certainly doesn't. This game holds up extremely well, especially since I'm now recording this on my more modern recording device. I hope you appreciate that. But, oh man, I'm just going off on tangents, just going into rabbit hole after rabbit hole here, and I don't remember what I was trying to say. Oh, this happens. We are the king of all cosmos. Yes, we are. Yeah, so one of the things that happens here in these Eternal stages is every time you reach a new size category, that is to say every time you open up a new area of the stage, the music changes, which is... I don't really care for that. It's a little bit jarring, it's a little bit abrupt, and like, once I start hearing a Katamari song, I just want to keep listening to it. It's like, I like all the songs, so I don't mind the one that we're switching to, but I wasn't done with the previous one. Let me keep listening to it. Like, when you reach the end of a stage, and you head on back to space aboard the Royal Rainbow, there's a sense of finality, there's a conclusion to it. And when you just switch from one song to another, you never get the closure you need to move on. So that's why I am not a huge fan, but that's alright. We get to hear more songs this way. Puts more songs in the video. You might appreciate it, even if I don't. So I'm just rambling and rambling about music. What I was going to say was that because this is not Katamari Forever, we do not have the Prince Hop, which means that me pressing R2 and L2 simultaneously is not causing my Katamari to jump into the sky. Nope, this is a much more grounded game. You do not have that power, and thus your mobility is much more limited. It's not that important, since these stages are also a little bit more constricted, so you don't really need the Prince Hop. Not that you need it in Katamari Forever, but the stages are more conducive to it, certainly. And speaking of Katamari Forever, if you haven't already, you might want to consider watching my Katamari Forever videos, because even though it's been 4 months now since I recorded an episode of Katamari Damacy, I've been playing away at Katamari Forever. I believe there are 8 episodes up currently, with a 9th going up at roughly the same time as this video. So look forward to that, be sure to check it out. Still got a long ways to go, that is a much longer game than this. So I should be making Katamari videos well into the future, even once this game is in my past. Though, I don't really... Oh, wait, what's the king saying here? It's a bank book. Lovely, lovely money. It's interesting, I don't know that I've ever gotten that before. I don't remember that message. Yeah, I was saying, I don't have plans to do Eternal 2 and Eternal 3 anytime soon. I might save them for special occasions, like I did this one. I may just get in the mood someday and record one of them, or maybe they never happen. There was a while where I was thinking this one would never happen, but here I am, so there'll be a surprise when those come about if they do. I don't even know if this is entertaining right now. Like, you've basically already seen this stage. The only difference is that now there's no time limit, and the cousin on the stage is different. Oh, speaking of the cousins, one of the reasons it took me so long to get around to recording this is because I was kind of burned out after making that cousins video, because in order to edit that together, well, the actual process of editing it together was a little bit laborious, but I'm not here to complain about that. I enjoyed doing it, and I was happy with the end product. But no, in order to record all of that video, I essentially had to replay the entire game, because there were cousins in every stage, every one of the constellations, every one of the Mega Stars, plus all 3 of the Eternals. So I was playing a lot of Katamari for that 10-minute video. But I think it paid off. It quickly became one of the most viewed videos on my channel, which isn't surprising because it has a lot of walkthrough value, and to my knowledge, no one else had made a video quite like it, so I'm getting like a lot of search traffic for it. But it's at the same time kind of not my best work, because like there was no commentary on it, so like it wasn't really a proper part of this Let's Play. But it seemed that some people enjoyed it, so I was happy to do it. Anyway, I'm also happy to finally be getting around to this Eternal stage though, because after saying in multiple videos that I was going to do these, it's nice to be able to provide some returns on that. So I hope that if you were worried about it ever happening, yeah, here you go. Here's what you wanted. Another thing I'm missing from Katamari Forever is the Royal Hearts, or the Broken Hearts. I thought for a second that I spotted one because there was like a vertical blue line back there, but it's just like a column. It was not a broken heart screaming out to me. Screaming out to me, yes. Anyway, currently at 47 centimeters, 3 millimeters, with infinite minutes remaining on the clock. No clock displayed at all, for that matter. So we're just free to take our time and roll about the house however we'd like. Oh, we're about to get a music change here. Ah, very nice. We got some Katamari on the rocks, as it were. The game's main theme, and if I remember correctly, what plays on the Make the Moon stage. The final and most ultimate of stages in the game, but not the longest stage in the game, because of these Eternal stages. The third of which is actually on Make the Moon, I think. Is that? Yeah, I think the third one is on Make the Moon. Yeah, because, okay, so the 3 stages that get Eternal versions are the final stages of each of the 3 zones in the game. So this is the final stage set at the house. Well, the final non-constellation. The final Make-A-Star stage set here at the house is this one, Make-A-Star 4. And so this is the setting for Eternal 1. The final town, or city, whatever it is, stage, Make-A-Star 8, I want to say. That is Eternal 2. And I believe Make-A-Moon, being the final Make-A-Star stage set on the world, is the setting for Eternal 3. And I know I've been over this before, but unlocking each of these Eternal versions is not something that's explained in the game. Well, I guess the exact time limits for Comet stages aren't given either, but like Comets are a little bit more opaque, a little bit more transparent, rather, in how you get them. They're very clearly from completing a stage within a certain amount of time. What they don't tell you is that the Eternal stages are unlocked by reaching a certain exceptional size in the stage. And you'll know you unlocked one once you get the Circle of Cherubim flying around your Katamari before time runs out. Oh yes, another thing that these stages have in common is that they end with a fade out rather than a royal rainbow. All 3 of these stages end with a fade to white, and then you simply reappear in space. The music fades out also. So I guess what I was saying about the the finality of the music in stages doesn't exactly apply here, because if we were playing the time limit version of the stage, there wouldn't be a royal rainbow, but there would be a fade out, which provides that same sort of sense of completeness to the song. Now, we're getting up to a fairly large size here, 1 meter, 22 centimeters. Now, we've got this row of shrubberies here. Now, from here, well, for one, we can roll through this window to get back into the kitchen, should we so desire. But more importantly, oh, well, we're falling right now, more importantly. Let's get back up there. Try to get this cat here along the way. This is a situation in which I would like to have the prince hop, but no complaints. I am surprisingly reliant on the prince hop. I was very reluctant when I heard that jumping was added to the game, because jumping kind of destroyed Super Monkey Ball. Someone's gonna disagree with me on that, but like adding jumping to Super Monkey Ball was just an awful idea. But here it didn't really ruin anything. I wouldn't say that it made it incredibly better either. Like, I don't miss it that much when I'm playing this game, but it's just because I've been playing a lot of Katamari Forever recently that it feels that way. So up here on the roof, we have a little casino, which is where we ran into Johnson, I believe it was. One of the cousins was hanging out here up in this little casino area. We have pachinko machines and lucky cats, and also some golden fish statues. What are those called? Oh, shachihokos. Shachihoko. I'm not familiar with that term, but I imagine it means golden fish statue because that's what it appears to be. In any case, this family, surprisingly wealthy given most of their furnishings, but up on the roof is where they keep the good stuff, out of the reach of burglars, I presume. And just picking up a few more things here, since we're getting so big that it's going to be rather unwieldy getting about. I guess there's no rush, though. No time limit, of course. So let's awkwardly clobber our way through the house, smashing our way from room to room, trying to grab whatever object we can. Oh yeah, another thing to keep in mind is that we won't be given a proper score at the end of this stage. I believe we won't even have the option of keeping the previous star if there is one, or making Stardust. I think that it always just makes the previous star Stardust and the current finish the new star. I think so. Because the King of All Cosmos does not evaluate eternal stars in this game, from what I remember. He does in Katamari Forever, but in Katamari Forever there's an eternal stage, or an eternal version available of nearly every stage. I think every stage that has a time limit by default has an eternal version in Katamari Forever. But you won't be seeing those from me for a long time, because I'm fairly certain you have to have completed the game first. And I'm not going to make promises about doing any of those like I did about playing the eternal stages in this game, because there's a big difference between 3 stages having eternal versions and all of them having eternal versions. And plus, Katamari Forever, in addition to eternal versions, has, well, there are 4 versions. There's Katamari Forever, which is the default version. Oh, here's our cousin. Who is it? It's Nick. Okay, so Nick is the cousin on Eternal 1, and Johnson is the cousin on Make a Star 4. But you knew that already because you saw the cousins video that I made, right? Right. Yeah, I was saying, in Katamari Forever, 4 versions of each stage. Katamari Forever is the default. Katamari Classic is the same thing, though there are no broken hearts and there is no Prince Hop. So it's basically all of the things I'm complaining about missing right now are absent. So that's a useful mode, though, because it lets you play the stages more or less as they appeared in their original game. So it's nice to experience that the way it was intended. Then there's the Eternal mode. And lastly, Drive mode. And in Drive mode, you have a reduced time limit. You have less time to complete your goal, but the Katamari moves much faster. And it makes noises like a car when it rolls around, which is kind of charming. Yeah, so those are the 4 game modes in Katamari Forever, and I'll probably get around to showing each of those off eventually. But yeah, I'm not going to be doing every one of them for every stage, because that would be ridiculous. So running out of things to roll up here, which is quite alright because it looks like I've been recording for about 15 minutes right now, which is a perfectly reasonable amount of time for a video. I ended up having more things to say in this than I expected to, considering that I decided spur of the moment to even do this. I think this worked out alright. Anyway, we'll be wrapping up shortly, and like I said, I am looking forward to eventually doing Eternal 2 and Eternal 3, but just because I'm posting this one now does not mean that those are coming soon. This is my 50th video special, and I hope you enjoy it. Now, that's enough objects. Let's head on back to the home planet. And here comes our star, I believe. Yeah, so I previously had a bowling star saved, and now I have an action star. The bowling star was, of course, the star I rolled up while getting Nick for the purposes of the Cousins video. So that's the only reason that I had a previous star. This is the same file that I used for the Let's Play. Anyway, well, not that it really matters. I don't think anyone cares about the integrity of the file at this point. But yeah, anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Not just this, but like all 50 now of my videos. Like, I really appreciate every one of you, so thanks for your views and your comments, and just like, I really hope you guys enjoy these videos. And I know some of you have told me that you do, and it means a lot to me. But yeah, keep on watching. I'll see you next time, and thanks a lot.